We learned in excruciating detail today just how badly the Texas Department of Safety failed during the Uvalde school shooting. In this picture, you can see officers in the hallway of that school, and you can see they had everything that they needed, armed with rifles, a ballistic shield as well, and yet officers waited an hour and 14 minutes while Salvador Ramos murdered 19 little kids and 2 teachers. An investigation revealing the commander was more worried about protecting his officers than the children.
3 minutes after the subject entered the West Building, there was a sufficient number of armed officers wearing body armor to isolate, distract, and neutralize the subject. The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children.
In defense of at least one of the officers that were inside the school, there is evidently audio of him saying that they wanted to go in. They were trying to go in. They were not allowed to go in by the commander, who was standing outside. That's the situation as it stands tonight. Texas Sheriff Bill Wayborn and former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gillum are joining me now on this story. Gentlemen, thank you to you both on a story that I'm sure sickens you both just as much as it does myself. Sheriff Wayborn, I want to start with you. The DPS Director, Steve McGraw, who presented all of this today and got emotional. He was visibly angry and emotional at times. Here's a little bit more from what he had to say.
1 hour, 14 minutes, and 8 seconds. That's how long the children waited and the teachers waited in rooms 111 to be rescued. And while they waited, the on-scene commander waited for a radio and rifles. Then he waited for shields. Then he waited for SWAT. Lastly, he waited for a key that was never needed.
Waiting for a key that was never needed on top of everything else. Sheriff, just your thoughts on what we learned today.
Well, Rob, thank you for having me. And number one, Steve McGraw is a good friend, and he sure was emotional, and I share that emotion with him, where the local police chief, the school district police chief, was the commander on the ground. And it seems like, in Steve's words, abject failure there, that they just waited. It's unbelievable. I'm having a difficult time wrapping my head around why in the world would they be waiting. You go through that door. Every cop I know would have, as Steve McGraw said once, he says, every cop I know would go in there with a butcher knife in their underwear, and go after that shooter and stop the killing. But high emotions down there. I know we got some more to learn, but right now it does not look well for the law enforcement in that hallway, that they follow the training and protocol that we have in place.
Right. Jonathan, your response, I mean, you've seen all of this as well. Again, it doesn't make any sense. And from what it sounds like, the commander is telling them not to go in. I think a lot of officers would have a hard time even taking that command.
Yeah, you know, I want to make it clear that I was in law enforcement as well, not just in the SEAL teams. I was an FBI agent, a federal air marshal, and a police officer in Arkansas before all that. And I'm telling you right now, what we're seeing is not just simply one police department that failed. We're seeing the same failures over and over and over again. We saw it at the Pulse nightclub. We saw it at the Parkland school shooting. We saw it now we're seeing it in Texas. This is something that's been repeated over and over and over again. And the reality is we've got to do something to, one, ensure that law enforcement does not depend on SWAT any longer. That's a problem. SWAT it had a reason to come about.
Right.
And now the problem is SWAT is actually, and the idea of SWAT is getting in the way of the first responding officers of moving forward. And the other huge problem is that the way that we promote many of these people in law enforcement is based on checking boxes and has nothing to do with the qualifications of these individuals.
Right.
So you combine those two things, and when it comes to the response, nothing is being done. And when you add to that the fact that schools and other facilities are not doing threat assessments, which they could do themselves, you see a complete failure, which we saw here.
And Jonathan, if we pull that picture up one more time, I'll stick with you for just a second. I mean, when people see a photo and they hear the number an hour and 14 minutes, and they think about the fact that there were gunshots being fired throughout. I mean, an hour and 14 minutes is a long car drive. It's almost a feature film in a movie theater. How?
Right.
How do you wait that long? How do you know that there's people pumping bullets into little kids and stand there for an hour and 14 minutes? It defies all logic.
Well, it keeps happening over and over again. And so I think the reality is that we do not teach in law enforcement when it comes to being the responder to an active shooter, we don't teach violence of action. And violence of action is this: when you engage a subject, you use controlled violence to take that individual down and eliminate him. And let's be real. When we talk about eliminating, we're talking about killing the individual. And sitting there and thinking that it's a barricaded subject, we can't save people now. You don't know that. You finish the fight and then you start saving people. But if you do neither, then those people are going to die, and as many as the shooter wants to take down are going to die. We have to change the mindset of how we attack these shooters, because the shooters have evolved in their mindset of direct action.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's an investigation going into this, because it's disgusting. I think it disgusts most Americans. I know it disgusts both of you as well, Sheriff Wayborn and former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gillum. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Got it.